ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. 2016 NXT Takeover Show, Dallas, Texas. WrestleMania weekend in honor of my boy Sting going to WWE Hall of Fame. Got my Stinger shirt on. I'll be wearing my other Sting shirt in the WrestleMania preview. As a lot of you fans know, I've been a Sting fan since I started watching pro wrestling in 1994, 95. Always been one of my favorites. Anytime Sting has done something big, winning the TNA World title, I watched it. His U.S. title runs in WCW, his World title runs in WCW, his debut in WWE at SummerSlam, or Survivor Series. I was there. Marked out like a little 5-year-old bitch, but I was there. Seeing him go to the Hall of Fame, I'll be watching it on WWE Network on Saturday night. His first ever WrestleMania match last year, obviously I watched. As a wrestling fan growing up, I grew up not really understanding the whole dynamic of wrestling. I was all about the faces. When the NWO was around, I hated the heels. I couldn't stand heels. This is stupid. I watched their paper. Maybe WCW will take over NWO. Maybe Sting will finally, come out of the Raptors. I hated that Sting though. He would drive down the road. Sting's here to say today. I was that wrestling fan. I was in my late teens when I first started watching wrestling. But now, here we are, 21 years later, I've been watching pro wrestling. I get the heel dynamic, the face dynamic, still big Sting fans. I'm a fan of heels, I'm a fan of faces. I'm a fan of just a wrestler because of their ability and what they can do in the ring. This NXT show, there's guys on this card, oh my god, they're fantabulous. They're phenomenal wrestlers. Either they be heel, they be face. I like them because of their ability. There's a couple of young guys that I can see this person, if WWE builds them right, they can be a superstar. They might be in the Hall of Fame like Sting someday. Alright, NXT Takeover preview. First match, we have Apollo Crews, the Apollo Nation, versus Elias Sampson. These guys have been battling a little bit on the house shows for NXT, some NXT tapings. Apollo Crews is actually 7-0 versus Elias Sampson. TV-wise, Elias Sampson's only lost one time, and that was this past 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. Apollo Crews came from the Indies. What was his name? Whatever. Yet Nation or something like that. Whatever. Utah name. Whatever. Anyway, it's hard to pronounce. It's UT something, another nation. Phenomenal wrestler. Just his moveset. When he's wrestled Finn Balor now twice, I have watched one of them, non-title match. I thought it was one of the greatest matches of the year, personally. Elias Sampson, the Drifter, no one really knows a lot about him. Here lately on NXT television, or whatever you want to call it, on the network, he's been trying to turn heel, it seems like, and the crowd really didn't care, What I think they need to do with the Elias Sampson character, if they want to turn him as badass heel, he's got the guitar. Turn him into the old Jeff Jarrett type heel, where he just starts to level people with his guitar, After the match, it's not going to bust the guitar over their head. There you go. Apollo Crews, former FIP Heritage Champion, came up through the Indies. I think he'll get the victory here. I just think they need to build him up more, and he could be the next Bobby Lashley type, but with more talent. Just that big, strong, muscle-bound guy who can go out there and do mat wrestling and do some high-flying maneuvers, So I get Apollo Crews beating Elias Sampson here. Next we have Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. For you WWE NXT fans who don't know who Austin Aries is, I'm sorry. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If I had to do a current top 10 wrestlers of all time, currently, top 10 current wrestlers in the business, period. No matter what organization, Aries is like top 10. Let me tell you a little bit about Austin Aries. TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Only two people have ever been 2-time Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions. Austin Aries is one of them. 6-time TNA X Division Champion. A 2-time Tag Champion. He is one of 2 guys to ever win the TNA World Heavyweight title and the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. And the other guy is also in a match here at Takeover. A-Double is 6-0 in his little short NXT run. He's actually been in 2 matches versus Baron Corbin. He was tagging with Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe. A-Double, that's his nickname. A-Double, Austin Aries. I would compare him to The Rock when it comes to promos, when it comes to mic skills. I've done, dream matchups before. One of the dream matchups I had was The Rock and A-Double. Is it possible to have in WWE? Anything's possible. I mean, The Rock's still hanging around. But yeah, A-Double, I think, once he is let loose on NXT Nation, on WWE Nation, boom. People will love this guy. He can be the biggest heel in the company, biggest face in the company. Baron Corbin, big, tough, strong guy, former football player, turned pro wrestler. He's never won a title. He's getting better in the ring. It seems like each match he does, the WWE Performance Center's been training him hard. He's been trying to, make his. He's got a athletic ability. He's trying to turn it into pro wrestling ability, which he's doing a fairly decent job. Don't get me wrong. He's listening to trainers there at NXT, and he's slowly coming on. So I think he is viable NXT champion down the line. I think he can, the lone wolf he's called. I think he can do well in the ring. He has done well. I think this match against A-Double, you'll really see. I think Baron Corbin can be that guy like a John Cena, where it may take somebody wrestling him like a Samoa Joe or Sami Zayn or an Austin Aries to pull that out of him. But I think he can hang in a match and make it look legit. I don't think he's going to go against a Bull Dempsey and put on a 5-star match. But I think versus an Austin Aries, he can go out there and put on a good 3.5, 4-star match. Be viable, can go out there and put on a great match for the crowd. I do have Aries winning this, keeping his undefeated streak in NXT. It seems like Baron Corbin, from what I've heard and what I've seen, anytime these former indie guys comes in, he tries to take them out and stuff. So I do think Aries will get the victory here. I think it'll be a great match. Next, we have NXT Tag Titles on the line. Woohoo! We have champion is a Revival, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, versus my boys, American Alpha. Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, both former Olympic or high school wrestlers, college wrestlers. Chad Gable, former Olympic wrestler, kind of like the Kurt Angle. The Revival, they've called him now, Dash and Dawson. 157 days as NXT Tag Champions, the third most of all time for NXT. The American Alpha, just recently named American Alpha, Jordan Gable, 22 times have wrestled for the NXT Tag Titles and never won them. Jordan wrestled 5 other times with other partners, Ty Dillinger, 5 other times. So he's wrestled, and this is his 28th tag title match, and he's never won the title. So hopefully American Alpha gets their first NXT Tag Titles here. Jason Jordan, I see. This is that guy I was talking earlier, that young guy who I see has a future if WWE just, lets him get it. I think he can be the next Kurt Angle. There's a lot of simulators if you look at Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle. It's like he's modeled himself after Kurt Angle, which, okay, I'm fine with that too. What I could see WWE doing, either, I don't know if it'll happen here at Dallas, or if it's going to happen next year, or 5 years, or if it ever will happen. Bring Kurt Angle in, since he's done with TNA, as a manager for American Alpha. Let Kurt Angle train these guys. Not taking anything away from Chad Gable, but I could see the American Alpha being the rockers of today. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. I think Chad Gable's better than Marty Jannetty, but I'm saying is Jason Jordan turning into a viable singles World Heavyweight Champion. I think Chad Gable would be a viable singles IC title, US title type of guy. Bring Kurt Angle in, manager in NXT, bring him to the main roster, let him run a little bit as tag champions, then end up turning them on each other and go their separate ways. 5 years. So what? We're at WrestleMania 32 this year. So by WrestleMania 38, 39, and maybe WrestleMania 40, Jason Jordan, your main event guy. Just saying. I see it. But I do have American Alpha winning the tag titles here. These final 3 matches, I think, can be 3 of the best matches in the history of NXT. We have Shinsuke Nakamura making his WWE NXT debut versus Sami Zayn. For those of you who don't know who Nakamura is, Shinsuke Nakamura, he's a 3-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. WWE guys who have ever won the IWGP title, the phenomenal AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Scott Norton, and Big Van Vader. Pretty good company there if you know how good those guys are. Nakamura is a 5-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He was actually Intercontinental Champion when he lost. Never lost the title when he left. When he left New Japan, he forfeited the title when he left. So 5-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion. MVP. He's the only other American to hold that title. His nickname is the King of Strongside. One thing I can see WWE doing, in New Japan they had Chaos, which Nakamura, I believe was Chaos, because there's a couple different factions that were feuding with the Bullet Club. Bullet Club then was led by the phenomenal AJ Styles, and in the past was led by Finn Balor. And Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, are supposed to be coming in with the Bulletproof faction. Rumor is be either led by possibly AJ Styles or Finn Balor. I could also see WWE changing it up a little bit, and since Nakamura was feuding with the Bullet Club, having him part of the Bulletproof. I could see Gallows and Anderson coming out helping Nakamura win this versus Sami Zayn. I'd be cool if it did, but hey, I'm a fan of both of these guys. Sami Zayn, former NXT champion, once become the first 2-time NXT champion, former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, 2-time PWG World Champion, a 5-time PWG Tag Team Champion. What more can you say about Sami Zayn? Ole, ole, ole. He's got a he's pulling double duty. He's got a WrestleMania match also this weekend. What I want to see in that 7-way, which I'll talk more about in the WrestleMania video, I want to see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens feud for a year. What I want to see, if I was booking this stuff, I like these guys. I think their ability's so above a lot of other people. They start in a 7-way. Maybe at SummerSlam they have a one-on-one match. Maybe at Survivor Series you have Team Owens versus Team Zayn. Have a couple different Survivor Series matches, but have those two as leading the teams. And then have Kevin Owens win the Money in the Bank. Have Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble. So WrestleMania 32 in Orlando, Florida. Your world title match for WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. If you have the brand split by then, you'll have a WWE title back probably for SmackDown. You could make that a bigger match as your main event. Or you could do Trip Rock like you set up last year. You set it up again this year. You make a 2-year setup for this. You announce it at WrestleMania 32, WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. The Rock goes in the Hall of Fame. You have Rock versus Triple H, your main event. So your sub-main could be a world title with what some people would say lesser talent, which I think is better talent. And do a year-long feud. Like, of course, in Ring of Honor, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had a 2-year-long feud. But hey, we ain't doing that in WWE these days. But yeah, so I got Nakamura winning that match in his debut for NXT with hopefully help from the Bulletproof. Next, we have the NXT Women's title on the line. Woo-hoo! We have Champion Bayley versus Asuka. In almost 3 years of NXT, there's only been 4 women's champions. Bayley's had the title 218 days. Asuka has won women's titles around the world. I think the Nakamura Sami Zayn match, this match, even the main event, Joe and Balor, can be 3 of the best matches in NXT history. The second best match in NXT history was a 4.5 star women's match between Bayley and Sasha Banks at Brooklyn. 4.5 star. And I get those star ratings from ProFightDB.com. That's ProFightDB.com. Dave Meltzer and all of his star ratings. He has all his 5-star matches listed on there. I think this could be the first ever women's 5-star match. I think it's going to be good as long as NXT gives it time and they do it right. This could be the match for NXT. Nakamura Zayn could be the match for NXT. I got Asuka winning it here. Not that I want Bayley to lose. I'm fine no matter who wins this. Same as Zayn Nakamura match. I don't care who wins. I'm going to say Nakamura, but I could care less. It's going to be a great match. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this match. Bayley wins. Asuka wins. It doesn't matter. You know, as Corey Graves said, Asuka's like an alligator. Well, if you've not seen NXT television, Eva Marie came out. Corey Graves is really, just all about Eva Marie. Eva Marie comes out, and Corey Graves is like, you know, on National Geographic, when you see that deer drinking water by the lake, and what a serene picture this is, and then the alligator comes out and eats the deer when Asuka comes out. But Bayley, Asuka, all over excited about this match. It's going to be a phenomenal match. Main event, we have the NXT title on the line. We have champion Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Of the top 3 matches ever by Dave Meltzer, ProFightDB.com. That's ProFightDB.com. Top 3 matches, 4.75, 4 3/4 Evolution by Sami Zayn and Neville. 4.5 star Brooklyn Takeover, Bayley and Sasha. At Fatal 4-Way, 4.5 star match, Neville, Tyson Kidd, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze. Here we have Samoa Joe, Finn Balor for the NXT title. The 2 out of 3 falls match that Joe and Zayn had, I give a 4. The match before that was probably a good 3 3/4, 3.5. This match and Balor and Neville, I gave 4, 4 1/4. If Neville and Zayn was 4 3/4, I think Joe and Balor. Joe's had 3 5-star matches in his career versus CM Punk, versus AJ Styles, versus Kenta Kobashi. Not saying this match is going to be a 5-star match, but I'm saying that's the potential. Any of these 3 matches, the last 3 matches on this card. For those of you who don't know who Samoa Joe is, former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time TNA Tag Team Champion, a 5-time TNA X Division Champion, the 3rd ever TNA Grand Slam winner, a Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Only 2 people have ever won the TNA World Title and the Ring of Honor World Title. Samoa Joe, Austin Aries. Finn Balor, a 3-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, a 6-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. WWE guys who have won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Jushin Thunder Liger, Ultimo Dragon, Owen Hart, Chris Benoit. So that's the kind of company that Benoit, or that Balor has followed with, title-wise from Japan. So yeah, these Japan titles aren't just like a piece of candy like some WWE titles where they just pass them out. You got to earn them. So when he can follow in the footsteps of those kind of wrestlers, you kind of know what kind of talent you have here. I actually have Finn Balor winning, retaining his title here, with help from the debuting Bulletproof, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, possibly add Nakamura to that. And then as some time goes on, I see the Bulletproof, Finn Balor, Nakamura, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson finally moving to the main roster. So, WWE NXT, kind of the place to be for a lot of these former indie guys. We got the Austin Aries, the Joe who've won TNA and Ring of Honor World title. Guys who've won WWE title and TNA title: Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, RVD, Jeff Hardy. Of course, a lot of those guys were WWE first, then TNA. People that have won TNA and Ring of Honor World titles: Samoa Joe, Austin Aries. Both of them could be future WWE World Champions. People to win the Ring of Honor title and the WWE title: CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. I think Joe Aries will follow that. So a lot of talent on this card. I think this is one of the best cards WWE's had. I think top to bottom, these 6 matches will be better than the 10 matches on WrestleMania, or currently 9 matches announced. And AJ Jericho's not been announced yet, but it'll happen. So with the stupid internet that I have, this video will probably take a little bit to get up. Once this video's up, I will get the WrestleMania preview up behind it, and then get the over the weekend the review for NXT up, and then a review for Mania up, and then somewhere along that I'll get the first quarter of the year, first 3 months, the first quarter WWE top 10 matches, Robert's 10 WWE matches, NXT matches of the year. Obviously nothing from this weekend. Mania weekend will be involved in that 10. So that will wrap up the 2016 NXT Takeover Dallas preview. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.